is News 3 Now at 6.
Thank you for joining us. You would think unemployment coverage would pay you, but a small filing mistake during the pandemic is leading to serious headaches for those who needed help. One woman is facing the threat of a warrant alongside a $30,000 bill for something she says is not her fault. Investigative reporter Naomi Coles brings us her story. Naomi?
That's right. Dominique Aldridge isn't the only one the state expects money back from, but her bill is one of the highest I've seen. The state is blaming an error on her side. Dominique says she's not the expert, the DWD is, and they didn't help.
So with all that being shut down, I had no way to work.
Dominique Aldridge was living in Green Bay when the pandemic hit. She had to quit working to care for her 3 young children.
I wasn't out there trying to do nothing fraudulent or nothing. I literally had to stop my job and take care of my kids. I had nobody but me.
Now in Chicago, she's only just gotten back into the workforce. But the state of Wisconsin is asking for almost 30 grand back and is threatening her with a warrant.
But one thing I know is I'm not responsible for that $29,000 because they messed up. I used to call DWD every day to speak with somebody, and I got something told to me different every day.
She got regular unemployment as well as the extra federal benefit throughout a lot of the pandemic. At one point, she says the state switched her to the pandemic unemployment assistance program and then back off again. But now, because the DWD tells me she failed to report a job she worked for less than a week back in April 2020, Dominique owes Wisconsin the thousands they paid out.
The crazy thing was they put me on PEUC, took me off that, put me on PUA, took me off that, and then put me back on PEUC. I don't know how that stuff goes.
And so it's created a nightmare situation, especially for those in the lower economic spectrum who have multiple jobs, because every single job has to be adjudicated.
Employment attorney Victor Forberger says issues like this are getting worse as the pandemic gets better in Wisconsin. More than 12,000 people are awaiting hearings.
It's worse now than during the pandemic.
And for people who made mistakes on their claims, or the state thinks they made a mistake, the appeals battle is now a months or years-long nightmare, and one people like Dominique are often losing.
The technical term for this is called administrative sludge. You create hoops and obstacles for them to jump through and climb over, and so they can't successfully get those benefits except for an elite few who become experts in the system.
If I was never supposed to get the regular UI, when my case jumped in adjudication the second time, it should have been correct.
Now, I talked to the state extensively about Dominique's story. They answered some questions, but they didn't address potential errors of their own and directed Dominique to the unscheduled appeals hearing. Now, about 57,000 people owe money to the state right now for overpaid unemployment. Not all of those happened during the pandemic, but based on the attorney's experiences as well as media reports around the state, a lot of them can likely be attributed to it.
Naomi, thank you. And 2 tips that the employment attorney has if you're in a similar situation. First, you might be encouraged to drop the appeal. He says, don't do that. It will only make it worse to get a resolution that works for you. Second, as you probably know, you'll need patience. It's going to take time to work through these thousands of appeals. More rain is a possibility this week. Let's check your certified most accurate forecast with Chief Meteorologist Gary Canaldi.
Hi, Charlotte. Just like the last few days, it's not going to rain all the time, but when it rains, it could rain hard and in limited areas at times. The visible cloud track shows we've had plenty of clouds during the day today, but not much in the way of rain. On Doppler track, most of the showers and thunderstorms have been to our southeast, down toward the Chicago area, but to the north and west, up toward Eau Claire and the Twin Cities. We're in between right now, but eventually we'll see that area fill in. We'll see some showers and thunderstorms. A few showers starting to sneak into areas south of Janesville. Future track precipitation over the next few days shows the potential for maybe an inch or 2 of rain in some areas or more. Other areas may see less than 1/4 of an inch if they get missed out by the heavier thunderstorms. Flash flood watches are in effect for northern Illinois until 7 p.m. tomorrow evening. Right now, temperatures are in the middle to upper 70s. Dew point temperatures, though, are in the mid 60s to the low 70s, so it's very humid out there. Look for a low tonight of about 68, a high tomorrow of 80, and off and on shower and thunderstorm chances through that time period. The rain chances will go down toward the end of the week. I'll have more details in the forecast in a few minutes.
Gary, thank you. Wisconsin is starting the week with an upward trend in new COVID cases. The 7-day average is trending up, but is still at just 72 new cases. 781 more Wisconsinites are newly vaccinated. The vaccination rate in Wisconsin continues to slow. Nearly 47% of the state is fully vaccinated. 50% have gotten at least 1 dose. And in Dane County, 64% of the population has completed the vaccine series. 68% has at least one dose. Severe reactions to the COVID vaccine have been incredibly rare, but that hasn't stopped Senator Ron Johnson from talking about them. Today, he held a press conference in Milwaukee with people who say they've suffered after getting the shot, despite doctors saying it's irresponsible for a senator to do so. Some of the people joining Johnson today talked about everything from neurological reactions and paralysis to other side effects so severe it sent them to the hospital. Johnson claims he is pro-vaccine and acknowledges that most people have had no lasting side effects from the COVID vaccines, but he says those who did have reactions deserve to be heard.
What's been happening over the last year and a half is people that are trying to tell the truth, people that are trying to get answers, are having a hard time getting their truths communicated without being vilified.
Among the speakers today was former Green Bay Packers offensive lineman Ken Reckers, who says his wife suffered a severe reaction to the Moderna vaccine. Health experts pushed back on Johnson's claims today, telling us what they've been saying for months. The vaccines are safe and effective.
To create this false equivalence between the success of these vaccines and very, very rare side effects that could create a situation where people choose not to be vaccinated is incredibly unfortunate and is very, very dangerous and reckless.
UW-Madison pathology professor Dave O'Connor says life would still look like last year without the vaccines. He says it's important people continue to get vaccinated, especially with the Delta variant spreading. O'Connor says the Delta variant can spread quicker and makes up 5 to 10% of cases sequenced in Dane County in the last month. SSM Health says it will require all staff be vaccinated against COVID-19 by late September. That is just ahead of cold and flu season. SSM Health has nearly 40,000 employees, and right now 77% are vaccinated. SSM Health is also encouraging the public to get vaccinated, saying, quote, "The fight against COVID-19 is not yet over. We must continue to be vigilant in doing everything we can to protect our team members, patients, and communities." DHS issued a health alert today for the increase of non-COVID respiratory virus in Wisconsin. Wisconsin DHS says its data shows a significant increase in these illnesses in the past month. They are specifically concerned about RSV, parainfluenza, and seasonal coronaviruses. They say it's unusual to see a high level of these viruses at this time of year. Increases in hospitalizations for these respiratory illnesses are also rising, especially in kids. They encourage people to wash their hands and take proper sanitation measures, especially in places like daycares and long-term care settings. Well, chances are you had to cancel vacation plans for your family over the pandemic, and maybe that cost you. Steve Houghton from DeForest spent $15,000 on airplane tickets for him and his family to visit Hawaii last year. COVID canceled those plans, but he never got the money back from his airline.
I'd like to get the money back. You know, I'm on a fixed income now, being retired, and that's going to help. Plus, I hate to lose that amount of money.
Federal lawmakers estimate canceled flight costs and flight credits that are outstanding from last year are right around $10 billion. Steve called for action to try and get his $15,000 back. Tonight at 10, Leah Lynchite answers that call and shares what's being done to get all that money back. Authorities have identified the man killed in a hit and run on Madison's east side this weekend. 30-year-old Sean Crisco died from his injuries. Madison police say a vehicle hit him at the intersection of East Washington Avenue and Patterson Street. The driver then took off without stopping. Police have found the car since then, but not the driver.
We need to be sure that the pile does not fall on them, that it does not fall on any possible survivors.
Still ahead at 6, first responders in Florida are working fast to find survivors of a partially building collapse, but they are also facing new safety challenges. We'll be right back.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me.
I solemnly swear that I will support the veterans of the
United States Armed Forces.
I will defend the Constitution
against all enemies. That I will commit
to ensuring they are
not forgotten.
And I will enable veterans to live the same life of opportunity
they have provided me. So help me God.
If your credit card debt is out of control, if you're in over your head in monthly payments, there's a secret the credit card companies don't want you to know. If you have more than $10,000 in credit card debt, you have the right to let us settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. That's bad news for the credit card companies, but it's great news for you. We're Credit Associates, and we're offering you free information on how to completely resolve your credit card debt with a monthly payment you can afford. To see how much you could save, call now. 1-800-914-7929. Don't declare bankruptcy. Don't consolidate. Give us 10 minutes and we could save you thousands. After all, we depend on your success and offer a guarantee so there's no risk to call. Credit Associates. Live better, debt-free. We'll even show you how to use your stimulus money to jumpstart our services and get you debt-free faster than you ever thought possible. Call Credit Associates now to see how much you could save for free. Call 1-800-914-7929.
Steinhaffel's 4th of July sale is happening now. Start with store-wide savings of 35 to 50% off. Plus, get great deals like this recliner, just $249. A Beauty Rest Queen mattress, $349. Or this queen bed, now $749. A 5-piece dining set, $799. Want to freshen up your patio? Right now, all patio is on sale. And with Steinhaffel's special financing, you save even more. Only at Steinhaffel's and steinhaffels.com.
Another body has been recovered from the rubble of a partial building collapse in Surfside, Florida, bringing the death toll there to 11 people. 150 other people are still missing tonight. First responders from Israel and Mexico are helping in the search. The team from Mexico is using a small dog named Oreo to search places other dogs can't fit into. Federal investigators are also on the scene. 5 days after the collapse, rescue leaders say there is still reason for hope.
There's certain areas that we have not gotten to, but we've been able to place cameras that seem to have large enough spaces, voids, that occupants may still be in there.
An assessment done by engineers in 2018 noted structural repairs needed at the building. The National Institute of Standards and Technology says its team of scientists and engineers will collect first-hand information on the collapse. Then it will determine if a full investigation will be conducted. The team will only enter the site once it is deemed safe to do so. President Biden will try to sell his infrastructure bill during a visit to La Crosse tomorrow. Biden is expected to travel with Agriculture Secretary Tom Vilsack. It will be his second trip to Wisconsin as president. UW-Madison and Governor Evers welcomed a special guest from overseas today. French Ambassador Philippe Etienne visited the French House at the university today. The French House was founded to give UW-Madison students the opportunity to immerse themselves in French language and speak it on a daily basis. Ambassador Etienne also spoke about the connections between Wisconsin and France.
The French companies are the fourth biggest investors by the number of created jobs in Wisconsin, more than 10,000 jobs in all sectors. For instance, in agriculture, because Wisconsin is a very, very important producer of agriculture of food, and France also.
Etienne said he was interested in developing more relationships between Wisconsin and France, such as French immersion schools. He also spoke about U.S.-French relations as a whole, saying both the U.S. and France are focused on finding solutions to global challenges such as climate change and vaccinations. Over at the state capitol, advocates are pressuring the Biden administration to pass a pathway to citizenship for 11 million undocumented workers in the U.S. They were joined by Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes and other local leaders.
I am incredibly honored to be joining this delegation of immigrants, of essential workers, the people who kept this city, who kept this state and this entire country running throughout the course of the pandemic. I'm here to say that you belong.
It's the culmination of a 9-day march from Milwaukee to Madison to call for action. The group wants the president to pass citizenship for all in his first year in office. This summer, we've already seen several tragic drownings involving children. Next at 6, why experts say the pandemic may have impacted your child's swimming skills and how you can help them stay safe on the water. And we aren't getting rid of the humidity or the storms. Gary Canaldi is back with your First Warn forecast after the break.
This is a Wisconsin farmer. She grows the locally sourced freshness, the freshness that complements the wild-caught salmon, the salmon that tees up the cheesecake that sweetens every moment. Festival Foods. We are Wisconsin.
It took us years to find the perfect bun for Culver's Pretzel House Pub Burger.
It's got the nice pretzel flavor on the outside, but when you open it up, it's light and airy. Got a nice sweet flavor to it. It literally melts in your mouth.
This bun is perfect for a Pretzel House Pub Burger. Seared fresh beef, tangy mustard bistro sauce, pickled red onions, 2 slices of bacon, served with our signature cheddar cheese sauce.
This bun was made for this burger. This is perfect.
I think it's an awesome burger. Welcome to Delicious.
I learned long ago, if you've got the right tools and a little know-how, you can do it yourself. And no wall of mine's gonna get some dime a dozen paint. Pittsburgh Paints and Stains, premium performance from start to that tough, washable one-coat finish. It exceeds expectations of what makes great paint. Pittsburgh Paints and Stains. Get 11% off everything, including Pittsburgh Paints and Stains, right now at Menards.
Get 25% off our low Slumberland price. Incredible deals. Huge markdowns. Plus 25% off our low Slumberland price. What a sale. The 4th of July sale at Slumberland Furniture.
Chevy is America's fastest growing full-line brand, and people are taking it everywhere. Taking Trailblazer outdoors, confidently taking on new places with Equinox, and taking on more with Silverado. Whatever you do, there's a perfect Chevy to take you anywhere. Find your perfect Chevy and get 0% financing for 72 months on select popular Chevy SUVs. Or get a $3,000 cash allowance on all 2021 Silverado Crew Cab pickups.
This is a Wisconsin brewmaster. He brews the local craft beer, the beer that washes down the Oktoberfest broth, the broth that pairs with the potato salad that befriends the burger that tastes like victory. Festival Foods. We are Wisconsin.
You are watching News 3 Now at 6.
Summer swimming has gotten off to a deadly start in Wisconsin. It's a trend that could be related to the pandemic. Many swim schools were closed most of last year due to COVID, so kids didn't have a chance to continue practicing those skills under supervision. At Swim West in Fitchburg, they're just getting back to classes at pre-pandemic levels, and a lot of kids might have forgotten those safety measures they learned before.
A lot of kids, I feel, have lost their confidence in the water just because it's been so long since they have had that experience to get to be able to just get in and go underwater or hold their breath. A lot of kids have forgotten how to do that.
The most important thing now is to get kids comfortable around water again, but starting that process in a pool, not natural water. That way, they build up that muscle memory before heading out to a lake or river where there's not as much control in that water. Here's a closer look at the drownings we have seen over the past few weeks. On Father's Day weekend, 2 children died swimming in Lake Michigan in Racine County. Last Sunday, 1 man fell into the Wisconsin River and drowned. And this weekend, a Madison man drowned in Door County, and a 7-year-old girl drowned late Saturday night in the Pecatonica River in Lafayette County. And Gary Canalti is back with our first warn forecast and the chance for more rain. Gary?
And over the last 5 days, the precipitation amounts have been very spotty. Areas to the south, across southern Iowa, much of northern and northeastern Illinois, into much of southern Michigan received over 5 inches of rain. In our viewing area, there's this little bullseye over parts of Crawford County, where up to 12 inches of rain may have fallen Saturday morning. But you can see these areas in green, or even the unshaded areas where little or no rain fell. Most of the areas north and east of Madison have seen 1 to 2 inches of rain. These areas in red, about 2 to 4 inches of rain. So some of us have gotten some decent amounts of rain, not enough to break the drought. Others still need quite a bit of rain. And there is more rain on the way. You can see some showers and thunderstorms to our south, a few light showers starting to sneak into far southern Wisconsin, some showers and thunderstorms to our north and west. The National Weather Service has issued flash flood watches to our south across much of northern Illinois and eastern Iowa. Any additional rainfall there is going to cause flooding problems. And the Future future track computer models show spotty precipitation over the next couple of days through Thursday morning. Some areas picking up 1 to 2 inches of rain where heavier thunderstorms track. Other areas little to just some minor amounts of rain. So it just depends on where the heavier storms track. Now, as we look at the severe weather outlook for tomorrow, the Storm Prediction Center has a marginal risk for severe thunderstorms, mainly for gusty winds and heavy rainfall. And this is tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening through much of the state. 3 things you need to know in the forecast. Thunderstorm chances will be highest for tonight and tomorrow, and then a chance of thunderstorms Wednesday and Thursday afternoon. Humidity levels stay high through Wednesday and then start to drop late in the week, and that will lead to dry weather as we head toward Friday, Saturday, and the 4th of July Sunday. Meantime, out west, the heat wave continues to build. Right now, it's warmer in Portland, Oregon than it is in Phoenix, Arizona. 115 in Portland right now, and much of the western part of the country under excessive heat warnings from Washington State all the way down to the U.S.-Mexican border east of San Diego. Some of that heat will start heading in our direction, but not nearly that intense. You can see aloft, there's a big area of high pressure just kind of spinning around, allowing the air to sink and really heat up in the western part of the country. We have a southwesterly wind flow that's starting to bring more moisture from the Gulf of Mexico northward. So as that happens and this front actually starts working back north a little bit as a warm front, we'll see better chances for showers and thunderstorms over the next couple of days. But the cloud cover, at least keeping temperatures down in most areas to the 70s where there's more widespread cloud cover. Tomorrow, a high of 80, warm and humid, some scattered showers and thunderstorms. Not an all-day rain, but when it rains, it could rain hard. Future track shows some thunderstorm chances overnight into tomorrow afternoon. Then as we head into tomorrow night, the rain chances start to go down a little bit. Still enough moisture, we could pop up a shower or thunderstorm Wednesday afternoon, but after that, things should start to improve. You can see, again, heavier amounts of rain in some areas, lighter amounts in other areas, just depends on where the heavier thunderstorms track. And then as the humidity drops off, look for dry weather for the 4th of July weekend. Humidity comes back up next week, and we'll see a few more thunderstorm chances.
And coming up in sports, Chris Middleton was cash money late in Game 3 when the Bucks needed him the most. Why Giannis called his performance greatness. That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Finding the right ingredients for a healthy lifestyle can be tricky. That's why SSM Health and News 3 Now are here to help.
Our Time for Kids recipe for health experts use online conversations and on-air reports to answer your health questions.
So tell us, what topics would your family like to hear about? What questions do you have?
Use the handy feedback form on our Time for Kids page to share what matters most to your family's health. And together,
let's take time for kids.
Looks like they finally got rid of that trip hazard. They pump it full of mud?
It ain't mud, Jack.
Where are the patched holes? Where's the splashed mud?
It ain't mud, Jack.
Concrete lifting technologies can quickly raise and level any concrete surface using cutting-edge foam technology made in Wisconsin. Fast and accurate and eco-friendly.
How did those guys do it? Where are the holes? Where's the mud?
It ain't mud, Jack.
Attic Angel Community has earned a reputation as the one and only. But what's so memorable to the people who live here?
it's good local heart.
Interesting friends.
The view from my window.
Continuing education.
The food.
The amazing art studio.
Happy hour.
There are many reasons to love Attic Angel Community, but there's just one Attic Angel.
They say when you come from a small town like us, you do things your own way. That's why US Cellular doesn't have any hidden requirements. So you can get the latest phone with no activation fees, required phone trade-ins, or anything like that. That's all there is to it. Get a Samsung Galaxy S21 5G free with no hidden requirements. The nationwide network built from your town up. US Cellular.
A family's trip canceled due to COVID. Now, a local senior could be out $15,000 in airfare.
I'd like to get the money back.
Leah Lynchide gives you crucial booking tips to avoid airline woes. Call for action tonight on News 3 Now at 10.
Hi, folks. Tuesday on News 3 Now this morning, we're calling for action to protect you against canceled flight fees because of the pandemic.
And we will update that holiday weekend forecast and your certified most accurate forecast. Join us Tuesday for News 3 Now this morning.
Bucks are just 2 wins away from advancing to the NBA Finals for the first time since the 70s, and they can thank their 2-1 series lead against the Hawks to Chris Middleton. After scoring a total of 30 points in games 1 and 2, Middleton caught fire, scoring 38 points last night, including dropping 20 in the fourth quarter. He alone outscored Atlanta, and when Middleton is feeling it, it's a simple game plan for the Deer.
There's moments that, we know when to set screens for him. We know when he wants the ball, and that was the moment. We were like, get the hell out of the way, give him the ball, take us home, Chris, and that's what he did. And as I said, I talked to him a little bit in the locker room. What I saw today was unbelievable, and for me, it was greatness.
There isn't a hotter softball team in the state right now than Sun Prairie. The Cardinals' last loss was way back on May 8th. Since then, it's been 18 straight wins to the state tournament. They got number 19 this morning in the D1 quarterfinals and looking for number 20 against Chippewa Falls. No score in the fourth, bases loaded for Sophie Royal, and she delivers. Royal smacks one through the infield to clear the bases, part of a 4-run inning for Sun Prairie, and that was more than enough run support for Taylor Baker. She struck out 4 while pitching a complete game shutout. Cardinals head back to the state title game with a 4-0 win. Southwestern's Cinderella run to the state baseball tournament ends in the Division IV state semifinals. The Wildcats fell to Boyceville this morning 11-1 at Fox City Stadium. And the Big Ten ACC Challenge schedule is set for the upcoming men's basketball season. Wisconsin will travel to Atlanta to take on Georgia Tech on December 1st. Tip-off and where to watch the game will be announced at a later date, but it will be televised on either ESPN, ESPN2, or ESPNU. The Badgers are 1-1 all-time against the Yellow Jackets, with the lone win taking place back on 1963. I do not recall that game.
I do not either.
Gary?
I was alive. I was 2 years old. So, go figure. Well, tonight we're watching some showers and thunderstorms across northwestern Wisconsin and to our south and east. Few showers starting to creep into far southern Wisconsin, south of Janesville, but other showers and thunderstorms will be in here over the next few hours. Future track rainfall over the next couple of days through Thursday morning, showing the potential for some areas of 1 to 2 inches or more of rain. Other areas less than 1/10 of an inch. Just depends on where those heavier thunderstorms track. It sounds like a broken record, but that's really the way it is. 78 right now in Madison. A few places in the 80s out to the west. Dew points, though, are in the 60s to low 70s. Look for a low tonight of 68, high tomorrow of 80 with shower and thunderstorm chances. Rain chances start going down and are gone by the end of the week as temperatures stay warm for the 4th of July.
All right, Gary, thank you. And thank you for joining us tonight. Enjoy your evening, and we will see you back here at 10.